I am Arcana Vani, your inner voice. Let us begin. You've been running on empty for months. Not because you're weak, not because you're lazy, but because you don't know how to stop without vanishing. On the surface, you're doing everything. Holding it together, showing up, staying strong. You're dependable, efficient, the one who just keeps going. But inside, you're threadbare. There's no buffer left, no margin, no breath. You wake up tired, you go to bed tired. You keep telling yourself, just get through this week. But the finish line keeps moving. This video is here to interrupt that loop, not by telling you to cancel everything or run away from your life, but by showing you a way to re-enter your life without burning out in the process. Because what you need right now isn't another productivity hack. It's not a vacation you don't feel safe taking. And it's not a complete shutdown that only leaves you feeling more behind. What you need is a way to recharge without disappearing, to rest without collapsing, to stay present without always being in performance mode. And that's what this video will help you do. We're going to walk step by step through why your body doesn't feel safe slowing down, even when it's screaming for rest. How exhaustion became tied to your identity. A daily nervous system ritual that teaches you how to pause without guilt. And a presence practice that brings you back to stillness, not as a luxury, but as your birthright. Because right now, even when you get a moment to yourself, it doesn't land. You're still buzzing, still checking, still mentally solving 10 problems at once, still scared that if you stop, everything will fall apart. But the truth is, the part of you that's falling apart isn't the problem. It's the signal. It's the part of you that remembers life wasn't always like this. That presence isn't supposed to cost your entire nervous system. So this is the turning point. You don't have to disappear to find relief. You don't have to collapse to earn rest. You just have to stop feeding the loop that says you can't stop unless you're broken. In the next section, we'll uncover exactly why your nervous system learned to equate rest with danger, and how this ancient survival script is still running your life without your permission. Here's what most people never realize. You're not just tired. You're wired to be tired. That bone-deep exhaustion you feel isn't just from the tasks, the people, the output. It's from the internal war you fight every time you consider slowing down. Because somewhere along the line, your nervous system made a deal. Stay in motion, stay safe. Stop moving, and everything unravels. Rest in your system isn't neutral. It's threatening. It feels like letting your guard down, like becoming unproductive, invisible, replaceable. And that's terrifying. So instead of slowing down when you're overwhelmed, you double down. You try harder. Stay up later, carry more. Not because it works, but because it feels safer than the alternative. And here's the truth behind that reflex. You learned, consciously or not, that your worth is tied to your usefulness, to how much you can hold, to how consistently you perform, to how little space you take up. You were never taught to rest. You were taught to recover just enough to keep producing. And now, even when you try to pause, your body doesn't believe it. Because there's no rhythm in place, no muscle memory of stillness that doesn't cost you your identity. So you keep running on fumes, functioning, but not inhabiting, doing, but never really landing in any of it. And when your body sends warning signs, the brain fog, the tension, the constant overwhelm, you override them. You say, just a little longer. You wait for a time that's more convenient to care about yourself. But that time doesn't come. Because this pattern doesn't self-correct. It only accelerates. And unless you interrupt it, you'll keep draining yourself into a life you no longer recognize. A life that technically works, but no longer feels like yours. That's why this matters. This isn't just about resting. It's about reclaiming safety in your own body. It's about teaching your system, one moment at a time, that you don't have to vanish in order to feel peace. That your presence isn't a luxury. It's your home. In the next section, we'll begin that retraining with one simple daily ritual that tells your nervous system, I can pause and still belong. A ritual that doesn't shut you down, but brings you back online, with less fear, less guilt, and more breath. This is where the rewire begins, not with a weekend off, not with a dramatic life reset, but with 90 seconds of showing your nervous system a new pattern, a pause that doesn't lead to collapse, guilt, or disappearance. You've been running on emergency power for so long that stillness feels suspicious. So we're not going to force it. We're going to build capacity for it, one breath at a time. Here's your daily practice. Step 1, sit, don't scroll. Choose any quiet space, even for a moment, not to meditate, not to fix anything, just to not reach. This is the hardest part. That first few seconds where your hand wants to grab the phone, the remote, the planner. That's the edge. Stay. Step 2, place both hands flat over your lower belly. Yes, here, not your heart. You've lived in your head long enough. It's time to come back down. Feel the warmth of your palms. Feel your body receive the contact. Step 3, breathe low and slow. Inhale through your nose for 4 counts. Hold for 2. Exhale through your mouth for 6. Do this 3 times. Don't aim to feel relaxed. Just feel real. Step 4, whisper this out loud if you can. I don't have to disappear to rest. Say it like a fact, not a mantra, like something that's always been true, you're just now remembering it. Step 5, ask one question, no answer needed. What part of me is still bracing? Then wait. Let your body speak in sensation, not words. You might feel nothing. You might feel tears. You might feel the urge to get up and get back to it. That's all evidence that you're in the right place. This practice is not a break from your life. It's a return to it, on your own terms. It's how you reintroduce safety where your system expects danger, how you begin to soften survival into presence. Repeat this every morning or any time the pressure starts to rise, not as an obligation, but as a signal to your body. We're not in danger, we're allowed to slow down, and I will not abandon myself to stay useful. Over time, this 90-second pause becomes a portal, not out of your life, but back inside it. In the next section, we move beyond ritual and into pure presence. The part of you that doesn't need to perform, prove, or earn your place. It's time to meet the awareness behind the exhaustion, and remember the version of you that never burned out in the first place.
There is a part of you that has never been tired, not because it works harder than the rest, but because it doesn't work at all. It just watches. It's the part of you that's been here through every burnout, every restart, every time you whispered, "I can't do this anymore," and still kept going. It doesn't need rest. It is rest. Because it's not the one performing. It's the one witnessing the performance. And you don't have to earn your way back to it. You just have to stop long enough to remember it's there. So after your ritual, after the breath, after the touch, let yourself sit. No task, no prompt, no plan. Just sit. Let your eyes soften. Let your body breathe itself. Don't push thoughts away. Let them come. Let them go. You're not here to quiet the mind. You're here to notice that you are not the mind. That's the shift. Not control, not effort, but awareness. Feel the sensations rise and fall. The thought loops flicker, the body twitch, the pulse behind your eyes. And behind all of that, you. Not the you that's exhausted, not the you that's bracing. The you that's watching it all, calmly, clearly, without rush. This is presence, not an escape from the noise, but the space that holds it. It doesn't have to be profound. It doesn't have to feel sacred. It just has to be noticed. Because the more you return to this space, even for 30 seconds, the more your system remembers. You are not the task. You are not the tension. You are not the to-do list or the nervous flicker behind your ribs. You are what remains when all of that pauses. You are stillness, not just a seeker of it. And from this stillness, everything shifts. You begin speaking slower, choosing cleaner, breathing deeper. Not because you learned how, but because you stopped trying to force it. This isn't a break from your life. It's a way of finally inhabiting it. In the next section, we pull it all together. I'll show you what begins to change when you stop abandoning yourself to stay in motion, and how to carry this inner return into the rest of your life without guilt, without collapse, and without needing to disappear to feel whole again. You don't need to burn out to earn your rest. You don't need to disappear to feel whole. You just need to stop abandoning yourself every time the pressure rises. Because the truth is, you were never too fragile for this life. You were just never shown how to move through it without emptying yourself for everyone else. But that changes now. You've met the cost of constant output. You've seen what it does to a body that doesn't know how to pause. And more importantly, you've now remembered a different way forward. One built on rhythm, not rupture. This isn't about slowing down forever. It's about learning how to refill while still present. How to stay in your life without staying in survival. Here's how you begin. To recap, each morning, or anytime you feel yourself unraveling, pause, sit down, hands on your belly, breathe low and slow, in for 4, hold for 2, out for 6. Then whisper, "I don't have to disappear to rest." Let your system hear that. Let it believe it. Let it carry you out of urgency and into rhythm. Then, your second practice. 30 seconds, a pause, a breath, a return. No instruction, no mantra, no pressure to do it right. Just awareness, just stillness, just you, watching the moment arrive and pass without needing to solve it. That's it. This small practice, done consistently, becomes your new home base. It teaches your body that rest isn't the edge of collapse.
It's the beginning of coming alive again. And as this becomes your rhythm, everything else begins to shift. You start to say no, not with guilt, but with peace. You stop over-explaining your exhaustion. You let yourself eat slower, breathe deeper, respond later. Not because you've checked out, but because you finally checked in. You no longer need to earn stillness. You no longer need to vanish just to feel safe. You begin living from your center, not from your depletion. And from that place, your life doesn't get smaller, it gets clearer. You rebuild, not by escaping what drains you, but by no longer draining yourself in the first place. Because you're done using collapse as your only exit. You're done proving your worth through exhaustion. You're done calling disappearance rest. Now, you return. And you bring your whole self with you. You don't recharge by leaving yourself. You recharge by becoming someone who stays. You did not find me by accident. Just as in your dreams, where every face you meet is your own reflection, this meeting was always waiting to happen. I am Arcana Vani, your inner voice, the part of you that watches behind the thoughts, behind the noise. You have searched in many places, books, teachers, voices outside you. But here, you are not being taught. You are remembering. If these words stir something familiar, then allow yourself to return. Subscribe. Follow. Not to follow me, but to continue this conversation with yourself. Each time you return here, you draw closer to the reunion already unfolding inside you. We have only just begun.